thank you all very much for allowing me to speak to you this evening. First, I want to apologize to people. It's a little bit late. I teach a class at Kentucky State University, and I had told Joe that I would try to be here by 7, but it's hard to leave there at 6:30 and get here by 7.
Ooh, yeah.
And that was letting them out early, of which they did not complain. House Bill 70, we have some copies of it. Last year, it was in Section 145 of the Kentucky Constitution. And Section 145 requires that if a person has been convicted of a felony, then that person must apply to the governor for a partial pardon to have their right to vote restored. And we were fortunate this time to be able to wait until each bill as they're filed gets a number. And we were fortunate enough to wait till just the right time to file this bill so that it would have the same House Bill 70 number again this year. And our desire is, and I hope this has an impact on it, that since it did so well last term, that if it had the same number, then people would be familiar with the bill itself. So what you have, and I hope we have at least close to enough copies, is the bill itself, and there have been 5 floor amendments attached to it. Those 5 floor amendments, I would ask that when you talk to people, and we're going to ask in a little while that you all contact various and sundry legislators, and especially that you contact the members of House Democrat leadership. And I say Democrat because the floor amendments, 4 of the 5 floor amendments have been filed by the Republican minority floor leader. So he at least is not supportive of the bill. He voted against it last year, and this time he not only has filed these 4 floor amendments, it's my belief that he wants to weaken the bill, if not just flat out kill this. The bill is short. We had 3 compromises last year, and those are still in the bill. There were a number of people who said that they did not want it to apply to people who were sex offenders. So rather than lose the entire bill, we made 3 compromises, because when we started out, we wanted the bill to apply that any felony, all felonies, when you paid your entire debt to society, when you had served your time, you paid all your restitution, if there were any probation, parole fees that had to be paid, you paid all of those, then automatically you would get your rights restored. Not a constitutional amendment, but by executive order to provide for automatic restoration of people's right to vote. So now we're down to the distinction of being 1 out of 2 states that permanently take away your right to vote if you have been convicted of a felony. So what you have before you there is the bill itself, and with the exception of intentional murder, sodomy, rape, and sexual offenses with a minor, then every other felony, the person would have automatic restoration of their right. Now, you have attached to the bill Floor Amendment 1 through 5. I'd like to start with Floor Amendment 5 first, only because it is the one that seems so soft. But it's just as detrimental to House Bill 70.
I love you all.